Chapter 7. Reduce, Reuse, Recycle. When I got home from school, my mom said, "I have to run to the grocery store. Do you want to go with me, Freddy?" "Sure, Mom," I said. "I'm just going to jot down a quick grocery list." My mom reached for a new piece of paper. "Wait, Mom," I said. "Use this." I handed her a paper that had a note written on one side. "But this paper has something on it already." "Yeah, but only on one side. You can write your list on the other side," I said. "You're right, Freddy. Why waste a perfectly clean piece of paper for my list? I can certainly use this piece you gave me." I smiled. Using 2 sides of paper was number 8 on the list. "All right, I think I'm ready," said my mom, as she finished writing. "Let's go. I have to buy some things for dinner and start cooking, or we're never going to eat tonight." She started toward the door. "Mom, you forgot something again." "What did I forget this time?" "The cloth grocery bags," I said. "Good thing you reminded me," she said. "I almost never remember them until I'm at the grocery store, and by then it's too late." "You should just leave them in the trunk all the time. Then you'll always have them with you," I said. "Freddy, how did you get to be so smart?" Mom said, giving me a big hug. Bringing cloth bags to the grocery store was number 7 on the list. I was almost done. Only 2 more to go. Later that night, after a delicious dinner of spaghetti and meatballs, I announced, "It's time to get clean." "Freddy, honey, are you feeling all right?" asked my mom. "What do you mean?" I said. "I don't think I've ever heard you say you wanted to take a bath." "Not a bath, a shower," I said. "A shower?" asked Susie. "Since when is Freddy allowed to take a shower?" "It's none of your beeswax," I said. "Yes, it is," said Susie. "No, it's not." "Yes, it is." "No, it's not." "Stop it, both of you," said my dad. "Freddy, since when do you take showers?" "Since I found out that taking a shower uses up half as much water as taking a bath," I said. "I never knew that," said my dad. "Where'd you learn that?" "In school. So can I take a shower?" "Sure," said my dad. "That's not fair," said Susie. "What about me?" "Yeah, you can too," said my dad. "We all have to do our part to help the planet." I turned to Susie. "You're welcome," I said. My mom followed me upstairs and helped me make my very first shower. I loved feeling the water sprinkling down on my head. It felt like I was standing out in the rain without an umbrella. "That was so awesome," I said as I stepped out of the shower. "I want to do that every night." My mom laughed. "Glad you enjoyed it. Now get your pajamas on before you catch cold. I'm going back downstairs to wash the dinner dishes." I put on my pajamas and went to my room to get the Earth Day challenge list so my mom and dad could sign it. I was proud of myself for doing everything on the list. I glanced down at the paper and my heart skipped a beat. I'd forgotten to do number 1 on the list. Bring recyclable items to school. No problem, I thought. That's an easy one. I was supposed to bring newspaper for the compost tomorrow anyway. I just had to get some for the recycling bin in the garage. I ran downstairs into the garage and started digging through the recycling bin for newspapers. "Freddy, is that you?" my mom called from the kitchen. "Yeah, Mom, it's me," I called back. "What's all that noise?" "I'm looking for something," I said as I continued throwing cans and empty containers onto the ground behind me. I couldn't find any newspaper. Now I was starting to panic. What if we didn't have any? If I didn't bring in any newspaper tomorrow, then I wouldn't get to be a member of the green team. My mom walked into the garage. "What are you doing out here? I can barely see you." She turned on the light. "Freddy, look at this mess you're making. What are you doing? And why are you out here in the dirty garage after you've taken a shower?" I I stammered. You need to tell me right now, my mom demanded. I'm sorry, Mom, I said as a tear rolled down my cheek. I just wanted Earth Day Challenge. Green team. I sniffled. Freddy, calm down, my mom said. I don't understand a word you're saying. Take a deep breath and try again. I took a deep breath and wiped my nose on my pajama sleeve. If I don't bring newspaper to school tomorrow, then I won't have done all 10 things on the Earth Day Challenge list, so I won't get to be a member of the green team. Well, why didn't you just say so? Said my mom. We always have newspaper out here in this bin. I just can't find any. That's because I pulled all of it out for a Girl Scout project your sister's troop is going to do next week, my mom said. Can I have some? I asked. Of course you can, honey. Before we go back in the house, I'll help you put all of the stuff you threw on the floor back into the recycling bin. Thanks, Mom, I said as we threw everything back in. What do you need newspaper for anyway? Asked my mom. We're going to be making a compost bin in our classroom tomorrow. The newspaper is the bedding for the worms. That sounds really interesting. Can't wait to hear all about it when you get home from school tomorrow. We went back inside and my mom gave me some newspaper. Here you go, Freddy. Is that everything on your list? Yep, I said, grinning. You just have to sign it, and then I give it to Mrs. Wishy tomorrow. I'll be a member of the green team. Chapter 8. Go Green. The next day, we were all putting our backpacks away in our cubbies when Chloe started running around the room screaming, Ah! Chloe, said Mrs. Wishy, what's wrong? There's a worm in my cubby. Max started laughing hysterically. Ha 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 ha! Excuse me. Chloe, calm down, said Mrs. Wishy. It's not going to do anything to you. Chloe covered her eyes. I can't look at it. Just get it out. Get it out, she screamed. Mrs. Wishy slowly pulled the worm out of Chloe's cubby and held it in her hand. It's out now, Chloe. You can open your eyes. Throw it outside! Throw it outside! Said Chloe. Actually, this worm is going to go in the compost bin we make today. It's called a red wiggler. I got some last night. This little guy must have escaped from the jar I was keeping them in. Can we make the compost bin right now? Asked Jessie. Sure, said Mrs. Wishy. If you brought newspapers in today, please bring them over to the rug. We all got out the newspapers we'd brought. Mrs. Wishy carried a big plastic bin to the rug. This is going to be our compost bin. I poked some holes in the lid. Does anyone know why? It's so the worms have air to breathe, said Robbie. That's right, said Mrs. Wishy. Now we have to line the bottom with damp paper shreds. What do we do with the newspaper? I asked. That's going to be the worm bedding, said Mrs. Wishy. You all need to rip the paper into 1-inch strips. We all started ripping. This is fun, said Jessie. Now we make it a little damp by spraying some water on it and then spread it on the bottom of the bin. What next? Asked Max. We add some dead leaves, some grass clippings, and some food scraps like this banana peel, this orange rind, and these crushed eggshells. But that's garbage, said Chloe. Why are we putting stinky garbage in the bin? Because that's what the worms like to eat, said Mrs. Wishy. Chloe held her nose. P.U., she said. Finally, said Mrs. Wishy, we add the worms. They like to be buried under the paper and food scraps, so we'll stick them under there. Now what? I said. Now the worms break down the rotting plants and food into a dark, rich soil that's good for planting. That's amazing, said Jessie. Now I think it's time to see who finished the Earth Day Challenge, said Mrs. Wishy. If you completed the list, then please go get it and bring it back to the rug. The whole class jumped up to get their papers. Now, let's see, said Mrs. Whooshie. Who finished the challenge? Everyone's hand shot up. I did! I did! Everyone shouted. Really? Asked Mrs. Whooshie. Everyone completed everything on the list? Congratulations! That's fantastic! You are all amazing. What do I win? Asked Chloe. A pony? A pony? Said Max. You're crazy. I am not crazy. Besides, I wasn't talking to you, said Chloe. I was talking to Mrs. Whooshie. No, Chloe, said Mrs. Whooshie. In this challenge, you don't win anything. The Earth does. What do you mean? The Earth will be a better place because of you, said Mrs. Whooshie. Oh, said Chloe, pouting. I thought I won a prize. Well, everybody does get a pin that says the green team. Mrs. Whooshie handed out the pins. Cool, I said. Can we put them on now? Asked Jessie. Of course you can, said Mrs. Whooshie. You should wear it proudly. I pinned mine to my shirt and smiled. Remember, said Mrs. Whooshie, we should take care of the Earth every day, not just on Earth Day. Now you all know lots of ways to protect our planet, and you can share them with your friends and family. They're all so simple, said Jessie. Yeah, I said. I thought the challenge was going to be really hard, but it was actually pretty easy. Like I said before, said Mrs. Whooshie, even little things add up to make the world a better place. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I know it's a little bit past Earth Day, but like they said, like Mrs. Whooshie said, you don't have to take care of our planet just on Earth Day. So let's take care of our planet. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye, friends.